I am back with another video, which is a Manchester United 2, Liverpool 2 kind of reaction / analysis. But look, if you're new here, hit the subscribe button, give video a like, and maybe follow TikTok as well. As you can see, the socials are in the bottom left. But as you can see, we have a nice little addition of the celebrations at the bottom right for the order of the goals. I thought that was pretty neat myself. But I'm just going to get into what I thought of the game. The first thing I'd like to get into is the fact that fair play to Manchester United and the players for once. I'm quick to criticise the players all the time, rightfully so, because they're inconsistent, they have mentality issues, etc, etc. But this game, they showed up, and that's a game really today where you can't afford to have one player being bad. You can afford to have one player being bad because you can carry one bad player, but if you have 2-3 bad performances, that's when it collapses and you don't get that performance you did today. And United could have easily won that game. I think I've talked to a lot of Liverpool fans. They have said United could have won that game. United should have won that game. Liverpool were lucky to get a point. And pre-match we were all, as United fans, dreading it, to be honest. I don't think there was a United fan going into that game thinking we could even get a result, let alone a result, let alone actually play better than Liverpool, have a good performance. It just obviously there was a few negatives, it's going to happen, but I was very impressed with the performance. I think Agartha was our best player. I think the reason why Agartha was our best player is I don't think I've seen any midfielder in the league this season go up against Ryan Gravenberch and Alexis McAllister and, how to put it, temper them as much as he did, make them quiet, not have control of the game. And I think that's praise for him, because when have you seen Ryan Gravenberch and McAllister be as quiet as they were in that game? Not really, because Agartha broke them down, Agartha broke up play, Agartha controlled the midfield, and that's props to him. And I think he's been some signing. I think the amount of stick he was getting when he first got here was absolutely obscene. I think he just needed to bed in a bit. And now he's in a system that he knows, like the back of his hand. He was obviously with Amram, sporting under the system, so he knows the system and he knows how it works. And it just goes to show that maybe we did make the right signings in the summer. I think a lot of people have been critical in us. I have myself, but obviously Delay had a bad game, but I think he's fairly solid side and fairly solid centre back. It's a good signing. Yaro is going to come into his own. We got obviously snapped him off Real Madrid. Xerxes, it looks like he might be leaving this one. I think that's the one you can question, but apparently that was Dan Ashworth's real only sign he had a say in. And then obviously Agartha Mazraoui. Mazraoui's been our best player. He's back to what he was doing in that Liverpool match, which is brilliant to see. Agartha is just, I'm so buzzing with him. And Manu, who, in my opinion, wanted him to play as the 10 in this game, and Bruno as the 8 because he hasn't been playing well as an 8. Played brilliant as an 8 as well. And I think it just props to them, and I think we need to keep it going. I think another thing I need to get into is the fact that I don't see this thing about Bruno Fernandes in that game. I think everyone's saying he was outstanding, etc. I think it's the fact that it's getting lost in the fact that we played well as a team and he's back in, so people are like, right, Bruno Fernandes played exceptional. He got an assist, but I don't see it. I think I'd love to be able to say I can, to be honest, but I just can't, because a lot of people are saying he was man of the match, etc. I disagree. I thought Agartha was man of the match by a long mile. Then maybe Martinez after that, and then Delot, then Bruno. But he was doing a lot of things he normally does, which is obviously grenade ball, hoofing it long, etc. And look, I think it was an overrated performance, if I'm honest myself. It was an overrated performance, but it wasn't a bad performance, if that makes sense. Like, he played decent, and maybe he can build on that, and I hope he can build on that, because I don't think he'll be getting dropped. Bruno Fernandes, obviously. Martinez had a really good game. Surprised by that. Him and Delon, that left hand side. That left hand side is normally a problem for us, but in that game it was actually, I'd argue, the stronger out of the two, because Ahmad didn't have a great game before the goal. Martinez and Delon done a good job shutting down Salah, considering Delon's been awful lately as well. I think he done a really good job on that left hand side. He attacked very well against Trent. And by the way, I'll go into that in a minute, but he attacked very well. Delot looked at it and went, look, I can't defend, so I'll attack. But Martinez as well with the goal. Brilliant finish from Martinez. Thing is, at first I was wondering why he drifted that far up, but it worked. And he got the goal out of it. Anyone else I'm missing? I think Onana could have done better on the goals. That's one thing. Maguire was solid. Yeah, should have scored at the end. Everyone knows that. But Delay, He was abysmal, wasn't he? Got sent for the Gakpo goal. As an experienced centre half, I know he's 25, but he's played for 3 top class clubs. He should be looking at it as, right, don't go down here. And Gakpo is an international level teammate as well for him. He should be looking at it and going, right, don't go down here, don't slide in. Just stand him up. And it was stupid from that. And then the handball, personally, people are saying on another day it's not given, etc., etc. I think it was stupid from him. I think you shouldn't have your hand up that high in the first place. Yes, so not a great game from him. Ahmad, he didn't have a great game before the goal either, did he? But obviously Ahmad's a big game player, and whenever he has a chance in a big game, he finishes it with composure. Højlund, yeah. What do you have to say about Højlund? I think some people try and say he had a good game. He done absolutely none. That game got pocketed. He had one chance and he missed it. He can't score. He doesn't even score anymore. Can't hold up the ball. Can't link up play. What can Højlund actually do that's worthwhile? Not really. And I think, look, we need number 9. Yeah. First thing this summer I'm looking at, not in January personally. I think we more need a left-sided player still, even though Delo played well. Left-sided player and a 10. Yeah, I'd be looking at number 9 this summer 100%. The reason I'm not saying January is because also we need those 2 positions first, and you're not going to spend 70-80 million on a striker in January. I think we need that. And I think the rumours of, by the way, Vlahovic-Xerxes swap, no. Vlahovic would not suit this system whatsoever in my opinion, and I think we need better than that if we're looking at a striker, and there's a reason why Juventus are getting rid of him. And the last part I kind of just added in after I've done the recording, is Amram. I didn't give him enough props. I think he managed that game perfectly. I think personally he outwitted Slot. If we're being honest in that game, I think you even look at it, you go, they have Ryan Gravenberch, Curtis Jones and McAllister as a midfield. And you look at it and you go, Mainoo's an 8 and Agar is a 2 is just not going to cut it. But in that game it did. And I think overall, he had the fullbacks, or wingers, you could say, whatever you like in Amram's system, had them kind of tuck in more instead of being really wide. And Arne Slot had told his players, if you looked at Salah a lot of the game, he was out really wide, and that didn't work for them. So I think, look, use props have to go to Amram, and I think he's right in saying that how come we're able to do it against Liverpool? There's nothing wrong with the system, it's the mentality really, and I think he's spot on with it. And I just wanted to get into a Liverpool point of view really. I think what went wrong for them, I think Slot made the subs too late, and the wrong subs. I think Núñez is, I rated him before he got to Liverpool, but ever since he's been there, he's been a shambles, hasn't he? I think Trent got subbed off too late. It was the 80th minute, and by then the damage has already been done. Yeah, I think Trent was absolutely awful. I think people saying his head was elsewhere. He's hardly getting done by Delo on the left hand side and Garnacho and going, oh look, Real Madrid, Hala Madrid. No, he just had a bad game. And I think he needed to be subbed off earlier. Players are always going to have bad games, it happens. So I think when people say, oh, his head's in Madrid, get rid of him, etc., it was a bad game, a terrible game, let's be honest. He was United, you could say he was United's best player. I think McAllister and Gravenberch, McAllister was good, but not as good as he usually is, because Agaré and Mainoo neutralised him, if that makes sense. I think when Salah has a bad game or doesn't have a good game, Liverpool rarely have a good game and find it hard to get a result. I know he scored a pen, but he was locked up by Delo. I think Diaz didn't do much. I think Gakpo scored, but other than that, we neutralised him a lot. And I think one of the things Liverpool do need is the number 9. Because even at that, it would make a lot of difference if you had number 9 making runs and behind, different type of movement. Because throwing a left winger as a false 9 to do that job, it's just never going to work, because they can't do what a number 9 would do. Because I don't think they need a big target man. I think they just need a Firmino type striker, or exactly like Jota, but Jota's too injury prone, if that makes sense. A striker that could do what Jota does, because Jota is some player without the injury record. I think that's what they need. I think as well, the second thing they need the most is a left back. I think Robertson was actually as bad as Trent, but Liverpool fans are just so used to Robertson being that bad that they don't even comp out anymore. I think he got done by Saka at the Emirates as well, and obviously he didn't have a good game today either. I think what Slot needs to look at, the next game is Forest in the league. What he needs to look at is changing up a little bit, just getting the 3 points against Forest, because obviously by changing up I mean because they lost the 1-0 to Forest, people forget. And I think I seen this line as a spot on. If Arnie Slot was asked about the weather, he'd say, we lost the Forest though. It's spot on. But yeah, just a quick summary. 2-2. United deserved to win the game. Impressed by United's performance. Aguero was man of the match. De Ligt disappointed me. And then Trent was obviously your worst player, Trent and Robertson. And Amram outclassed Slot. So look, that was my Liverpool / Man United analysis. So yeah, hope you enjoyed it and see ya.